Let's go, faces. Hi there.
Hello, hello.
I hope you can hear us and see us. We have kind of new setup, so we're testing out something new today, especially for the camera, for new camera, to show you all the goodies and Heroes prototype unboxing. Yeah. But as always, I'm actually with Michał today, so I think you have met Michał before, definitely on trade shows.
Yeah, probably on trade shows and stuff.
Yeah. Have you been on a live stream before?
No, I don't like cameras. Cameras don't like me, you know.
Yeah. Whatever, they always.
Yeah, but this will change anyway. So.
Yeah. I'm the person who's always thrown at the booth. So yeah. Anyway, so as always, we have a few slides to show you. We have a presentation which I want to go through. It's not much. It's just basically for the caves. For Deuslair as well, for the Titanomachy, just leave it for the next couple of weeks, so you will get more data information in the next couple of weeks. But today we want to focus just on the case.
Yes.
We have to go through some questions, answers, some questions they came up on the Discord, so that's going to be the first one, and then literally 10-15 minutes we're going to move to unboxing of the prototype. There's a few things to note. It's a prototype. It means that not everything, the almost entire material is fully?
Almost entire material is fully approved and almost final. There are some bits and bobs to add here and there, like the hollow effect on the cards, a little bit more on the titles.
You just used it was a surprise.
Yeah, it's looking great, and you know, some slots in the trays that need to be a little bit deeper on or fixed, but that's just normal process. What we can say, and we are glad that we are on time with this, and you know.
Looks yes. very promising.
Yeah, it looks very promising. We don't have 2 Azure boxes yet because they are still on the way, shipped to us. We'll present them on the next email.
I think so, on the next one, yes. Yeah. And also, I think there's a few elements missing. I think we don't have miniatures for Inferno because they've been shown on a trade show, which the guys went to.
We haven't.
In the box?
Yes, in the box.
Right, so sorry for that, but I know we don't have some cards. Some cards are missing for the battleground, the one thingy.
For Battlefield, yeah.
Battlefield, few things.
Yeah.
Battlefield. Some cards are missing because they haven't been manufactured yet. But yeah. So today we're gonna be show you all the bits of the game, the quality of it. Yes. I think the miniatures and everything, and I'm very, very, very surprised about it. So yeah, let's move on. Let's crack on.
Yep.
We'll start with this. Right, as always, few slides to show you, and we're gonna start straight away from about the questions. Okay, the comments actually we have small delay on the comments. Usually there's a few minutes before we get the comments, so we will come back to the comments, the live comments. Just to give you a few seconds, okay? One of the comments we have you thought about making any ruins for 40k that actually block line of sight and have a usable profile for good piece, since GW doesn't seem to understand line of sight? Then it creates opportunity to throw some basic ruins at retail. I don't know how many times we have discussion, because you guys know we are working currently on our own board game. It's a sci-fi. And I don't know how many times I've been talking this to my team and through other people we work with, and I can spoil it today that we work with Jervis Johnson, and as well as Andy Chambers on the project, and that's it. We're not going to be talking what kind of project is it, but it's basically war game. And the thing is, I don't know how many times we talk about terrain, that the rules needs to work with terrain, right? Yes. So. And the disconnect between the rules and the terrain, as it is in GW, it's like they put much more effort in making very nicely looking terrain, but it's got nothing to do with actually rules and how you play the game. Yeah,
this is one of the main things we are on a topic with creating a new wargame, is to have this terrain or just working with the rules really
one to one.
So, but You can try the rampart line of our terrain. Maybe it's better than original.
I think the ruins. I mean, saying that and going back to this question, I think the ruins itself, the latest release of the terrain,
ruins, yeah.
it fits perfectly to the rules, right? You don't have any tiny, small, narrow gaps whatsoever. You have only door entrances
Yes.
and the windows.
Yeah.
That's it. So have a look on that one. I think, that's one of the best terrains, I think, nowadays for the 10th edition. I mean, we follow in 10th, obviously, we're following all the rules. So I would say have a look on our current ruins. So we do have a product for that. We do have it.
Yeah, we're trying to play it.
Yeah, we don't have to try it. We want to try it 40k just to see it how it goes, how the feeling of the game is, whether it's exactly the same feeling as used to be, and so on. But no time for that at the moment.
Yeah, but watching Batrips on.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like watching Batrips and doing some other work at the same time. Will you also make pre-painted transparent pieces with just shading or highlighting, for example, or is something that is not possible or would render the piece completely opaque?
This is a good question because those printers are using also a transparent paint.
I will show you something.
Yeah, later on.
I've got a couple of pictures of new samples of new things which we currently developing, and I will show you exactly. What we have, and we might get somewhere with that. But it is obviously a prototype. It is obviously fine testing. The technology for now at the moment, I think, is almost, let's say, 90% there. But 20% is, as always, there's details, tiny details. But without those details, you wouldn't be able to make it. So
but we can right now we know that we can cover with the paint the areas we really want. We don't have to paint all the pieces, right?
Yeah.
So I think that should work.
Yeah, so we can selectively go for some elements and selectively goes even for tiny details. I will show you in a minute. I got something. Will the art book of Home 3 have content of the remaining factions? I think it should at least have some artwork from Stronghold.
Well, we are using the artwork that we are using in the games right now. So not now, but maybe in the future we'll make a second art book for the new expansions that will come up in the later, I think.
Yeah. Just adding to this one, I mean, if you just imagine the whole process, we would have to create now not another 50-60 arts, maybe less, maybe something like that. So it will mean the whole project will be jeopardized or delayed just because we need art for a faction which is not even available. So one of the reasons is why we haven't gone for that. Will there be a way to get just the Home 3 minis somehow, like faction packs that would just contain the minis or something else along these lines?
Yes, the Azure miniatures for neutral models and the second one will be available later in the retail. So, for instance, in the retail, the base game will have only the heroes side of it, and later on you can just buy the set of miniatures.
Any chance of seeing the interior of the big box layout before pledge closed?
Well, I think you showed the design of trays on the previous EMA. So this is a complicated process because all the trays are created from scratch just to fit the big box and to have the well organized everything in the box. Inside it will be like looking almost like every other board game, like base game of Heroes or any other expansion. It's just like bigger box and as same well organized.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure whether the manufacturer already told us the time when actually we're gonna get it, but obviously we need it for approval. Everything else.
Yeah. It is in this. It is in design. So the main design was already approved. So I hope we have it for the end of this month.
Yeah. Any comments on thoughts on the latest Kickstarter policy portraying the transparency of the projects containing the use of AI-generated art and content? Will this affect any projects in the pipeline? We don't use AI at all. No. Let me rephrase this. We don't use AI to generate any arts.
That goes in the final content.
Yeah, whatsoever.
Like
we use AI sometimes for just help out with, rephrasing stuff or something like that, sentences. But it's not actually using AI. We've been using for many years a software which was helping us because we're not obviously English native whatsoever. We had a software which was called Grammarly, and we were using Grammarly, and it's a part of AI which allows you to actually rephrase the sentence when you write update, for instance, right? Everyone in the company actually who is from social media is using this one. I don't know whether this classify as a use AI or not, but I would imagine that if you say something like using AI, if just to say to AI just write me something and then copy paste this one, then no, we're not using this one in the company to the extent. Then we will say that we're using this one and might affect any projects whatsoever. Don't get me wrong. I think AI is extension to your brain. That's what I think. It's like, having discussion with a accountant whether you want to use calculator or not. It's the same. It's the same tool. It's absolutely the same tool. You just speed up the process and expand a little bit of your speed up the work basically, and creativity as well. Helps in the creativity. But using 100%, I don't know whether we're able to use like in 100%. AI.
We have a creative 3D artist, 2D artists. We have a creative team that's responsible for the rules. Even now for Deuslair, we are writing the book stuff, and it's been written by one of our employees and members. So.
But to be honest, I don't think there's a business out there who use like internet or whatever business internet who doesn't use AI in some degree. I mean, even if you look at the GameFound itself is going to be incorporating AI for marketing and advertising to help out some of the projects to get off the ground. So it's not like, nothing to be scared of. I mean, to be honest, as long as it's not gonna take over the world and kill us all, hello Skynet, then it's all fine. I guess it's a new tool, so everybody are actually scared of, and everybody feel threatened because of their work and their job and so that. And I disapprove totally using 100% of AI in creative, like copy paste, like like Midjourney making art and then copy paste. But it's a great tool to actually put your thoughts on a kind of visually design. I mean, I had some ideas about, like, we've been thinking about making as well in the future some content for a sci-fi war game. So, and I had some ideas about some monsters and how we could use potentially some of the monsters into like a war game. And when you actually put down in Midjourney what you want, you will split out some kind of thing you may see and grow on and develop on. So some monster, I like that concept, let's maybe explore this one, and then you can send to your artist and say, look, I generated this one based on what I think, and maybe we should explore this avenue, but not 100%. I think I just read something about Fantasy Flight Games use in one of the expansion books for Dungeons and Dragons. They have used some fully AI generated art, which is, I wouldn't approve that. Okay, since the final dimensions and shape of insert unknown, can we get confirmation of recommended thickness of card sleeves? It is still 60 microns, all small boxes and a big box.
Yeah, 60-80 microns, I think, was the aim for that one. So like a standard sleeves. So.
Okay, so here you have it, 60 to 80 microns. Okay, I've got to take you through very, very quickly, so stay tuned, few minutes, and we move on to the next topic, which is doing unboxing. We really want to wrap up. This is to 4 o'clock, so this is just a prototype to show you. As I mentioned, as this is the process we're currently working on, this is pre-painted sprues, and this is a second part of tests. So the graphic we have used here was made very, very quickly. It's not like, you know, graphic. It was just basically to prove the concept that we can actually pre-paint different level whatsoever.
The high elements.
Yeah, the high, exactly. So the final quality I will be showing the final quality soon. But at the moment, it's just let's call it low resolution test. Okay.
Yeah. So we also picked up the frame that has also tiny bits like the globe you have seen, holographic.
Yeah.
Thingy. Yeah.
Exactly. So this could be pre-painted selectively, so we can just select some elements to add the colors on it and so on. And same goes, I have the here to show you, and same goes to any other type of detail. Now, why I'm showing you this one is because as far as I know, we could potentially make very nice terrain pieces, but how about everything which goes into the wall, like plugins and things like that, whether we can actually match the same theme, the same color? And I think, yes, I would say at the moment, yes. Obviously, this requires still investigating and still work on it. But at the moment, as I mentioned, this is only 80% or 90% there. The final touch-up is just the only all the tiny details which will take months to actually improve on. Okay, so that is it. I'm personally extremely excited about the pre-painted. We all in a hobby, and we all in a hobby of miniatures painting and such and things like that. But on top of that one, having something which is ready pre-painted on a table, and bear in mind the caves won't be even on spruce. The rain. I'm trying to develop the process where everything will be not on a spruce. You're gonna get everything in a nice tray, and you open the box. There is a tray, and you have all those elements in there, and pre-painted. Like if you opt for the pre-painted version, obviously. The exception will be just all the add-ons, plugins, and everything else that will have to be on the spruce. Yeah. But everything else we can make it without. Yeah, so that is very, very, I think, important. Okay, let's move on. Obviously, for the case, we've been doing currently a few walls and thematic ones for the demon ones, walls and the floors. Just wanted to show you quickly what we're aiming at, and as you can see, they're quite horror-ish, quite grotesque, and quite well. And the head and arms. So yeah, quite challenging for your team, for your party to fight on and fight it. And we have lots of different concepts, lots of different ideas, and some of them already been put into 3D. Those 3D we will be making a test sprue and sending out those test sprue to to reviewers. Okay, so I'm gonna flick them through. Obviously, we have to think about everything when we design. This is, for instance, the curve wall, and we have to make sure that models miniatures will fit on that. So at least 3 miniatures and models. Now, the nature of that one is you will still be able to put the large model, but it will go on that tile, a little bit here. So you should be able to, on 50mm base model, to put 50mm base model, because the curvature of this one will be like here on the other tile. So yeah, and also we discussed about the thicknesses, about detail thicknesses and such, which is currently ongoing process. And then we have another set which the team proposed. Again, this is just a single curve wall, which will be part of a demo sprue. Yeah. And at the end, we have those corners. This is something new. Which we never had before. But those corners will allow you to be attached to any straight angle connection, and you will have very nice smooth line there to, it's going to look much better. So also there is a few concepts about what we could structure, or what structures we could add it in inside. Yeah, exactly, level up inside the caves itself. So we've been thinking about several different platforms with leather on, with large place or centerpiece of the thingy, so centerpiece of the action. And also we've been thinking about different stairs, platforms supported by columns, not really columns, but the stalagmites or whatever they call them, or the stone columns, right? and some other altars, large pieces, or demonic elements. Okay, so yeah, and then the final one is a kind of lava stream, I would say, not river. Don't call this river because it's much smaller, but it's basically something like lava stream, which we could make it in different colors, pre-painted differently, or to make it either normal water, ice, blood, and such. So yeah, okay, that would be this. Maybe we should go through questions because we have a few questions we would like to answer. So this is the question was regarding the app. I've seen this one already. Jakub answered. We did have a discussion with guys from Heroes Orchestra about this. I think I don't know whether we're gonna be in a legal circle with that, because it's not as easy as it seems to be. Because at the end of the day, there's somebody else is the creator of the music. Hero Orchestra is just basically licensing and playing it. It would be awesome, absolutely awesome, to have app where you play the game, yes, right? When you have a option to actually play sounds from the video game as well, but on top of that, also playing the background music, like you can hear the music right now on our stream. It would be awesome, but I don't think it's absolutely up to us. We could only tandem to this idea, but we won't have no say about it whether it's happened or not. So we have to wait for the other parties. This means the Heroes Orchestra to come up with some real unproblematic delivery plan. Okay. Is this game only for Heroes fans, or can normal people play too?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They are easy to learn how to master. I think somebody already Jakub already answered that.
Yeah, Jakub already answered. Yeah. You're right. Jakub already answered. To add to this one also, because when we for the first time pitched this project, and when for the first time we had like internal discussion what we exactly want to do, we really wanted to make sure that the game is very close to the IP, and obviously into the video game. And obviously translation 1-to-1, it would be very, very bad board game. Right? Really, you wouldn't be able to, the scope of the video game and things which is happening in the background, you are unable to replicate on a board game without calculator, right? Mm-hmm. So the whole concept was we have to have 100% of feeling of the game, and at least minimum 80% of the good game, if you know what I mean. So I think the team did much more than that. I think in my personal opinion, it's 90-90, so we got 90% of feeling of the video game and 90% of the good, very, very good rules. Because as always, we have to sacrifice either of them, just a little bit. But I've seen the latest results from the surveys. We make those surveys every time when we play the game. Yeah. And I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I think we could go for unboxing. I will be sitting here, monitor the question, and Michał will be doing the unboxing. Let me just switch the camera now to Minicam. Yes. Let's do it. To be clear, we have new camera set up. I really, really hope it's gonna work through entire process.
Yes, I hope also that you can hear me.
Let me know if you can hear me speaking, because we have one microphone here.
Yeah, so we are starting from the base game. On the top we have all the tournament books, rule books, and mission books. You can see quality of it, just text and explanation of the rules.
Yeah,
that's not much wrong.
So
interesting stuff.
Yeah, you have several booklets basically, and this is a good one because it shows you all the missions. So the team did quite a lot of actually rules, quite a lot of missions. So you're gonna see those mission books in every single box. It is a lot. So definitely is the content. There is quite a lot of content in there. Okay, so Jarek is just making joke. he's making his Irish jokes. Sorry, I was distracted for a second. So
I will find you, Jarek.
I will find you. Right. So I think in terms of rules itself, explanation how the game plays, play and such is actually quite well done. So that's it. Here we have something which I really discuss internally. I don't like the how flimsy it is. So
yeah, we'll probably make it on a stiffer material, to be more.
Yeah. So this player edge should be much stiffer material, and this is what we're gonna be improving on. So in order to actually make sure it's nothing get kind of damage whatsoever when you play, only last for life.
Yeah. Now we have heroes, robots.
Yeah. Obviously those you can push them out, but yeah.
Yeah, this one is going out and
very nice quality. Very nice.
It's for the cube mark level and stuff.
Yep.
Some tokens.
Okay.
Now we have tiles.
I think this is, let's try to show as much as possible, because I've seen those graphics, and to appreciate this one you really have to look at that. Oh yes, it's showing very well. I mean, have a look. We spent and really we spent a lot of time, and when I say we, I mean graphics, graphical, not me, not we as a team. We spent tons of hours actually polishing them, absolutely polishing. I mean, the level of detail is for the board game is absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. You can, yeah. Yeah, here we have the town. Yeah. I mean, even the prototype, even when we had prototypes, you wouldn't be, seeing this level of quality. And then content, I mean, it's quite a lot there. So as you can see, I think we have a little bit more content. I mean, this is what we've been told, at least by the manufacturer, that we have more content in this game than is in Witcher. So we have quite a lot of printed. Yeah. So that's the boat. That's the combat boat. Yep.
Sorry, sometimes I will.
Yeah, we should. Don't worry about it. We'll shake a little bit the camera, so don't worry about
it. Now we have a boards with the tiles to the build structures.
Yep. That's how it works.
Obviously, you start with nothing build.
Yep.
Then you just add the tiles.
A puzzle ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you move on, Michał, hold on. Before you move on, I think we have to show something on this plastic tray, because once you remove all the elements from the game, you have the basically the slots to put everything back. Or
yes, of course. So in the trays, so for instance, when we punch out all of the punch boards, you have a space to put down. The trays with the elements, like hero cards,
exactly,
town boards, such. What else? Miniatures.
Can zoom in a little bit if you want. So that's the obviously a small remark here. This is not final color, by the way, right?
Yeah,
so
no final colors. So that the prototypes that we have here for approval process. So sorry, I won't take them out with fragile parts, because I don't want anything broken.
Yeah.
This is a normal process. Same was for Masters of the Universe Fields of Eternia. So we are quite confident that the quality of the miniatures will remain the same as in the prototype. Here's a round tracker, also with the slots to mark round numbers.
There is one question which is quite good. I mean, Afarial just asked the question: won't the car cardboards get quickly worn out by the putting them out and in again. He mean basically the town thingies. I think this is something we're gonna have to still slightly improve. I believe we discussed this one. We're gonna use different knives in order to actually give you a little bit of room for them to actually move. So they're gonna be quite easy to put in and quite easy to remove. At the moment, I personally believe, because it's a prototype, they're a little bit too stiff. So what I mean by that, it basically is too difficult to put them. And you're right. Yeah, and you're right. If we're going to leave like that, it might cause a little bit of problems, but we are aware about that one.
Yes.
It might not. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to test it. But as I mentioned, this is full prototype, and then this is the moment when we will be actually doing all the mods we need to do in order to make it very, very good, very nice for you guys.
Yes, yeah. This is the purpose of the prototype, really. Yeah. Check if everything is working well. Checking anything, spellings or anything. Yeah, those are just the cubes that will be inside of the box. With the slot for it, of course. Slot for cards, as you can see, one is empty. That's because as you have asked us very.
Exactly this question come up.
Yeah.
Exactly this question come up. So
about the sleeves. So you have the third space when you put the cards in the sleeves.
Yeah. Just in case you haven't heard me or because he's away from microphone, I will just repeat what he said basically. So this is the final content in terms of cards, but you have additional slot for the cards here, empty one, which allows you to store the cards, all of those stacks of the cards to store inside the box once they sleeved. Yeah, so this is the one surprise you haven't seen it yet. So as you might know, how this card works. I mean, Michał, could you please just rotate one? Just take one on the side. So this is the pack. This is upgraded version. Could you please rotate it? Oh, this is the normal version of the card. So when you start the game, when you buy monsters and creatures and such, this is how you buy them. So in order to upgrade them, there's a cost on the bottom, obviously. So once you upgrade them, you flick the card and you have that. So we decided to go to indicate that one. This is a upgraded card and it's much better. Exactly, a pack. Exactly, a pack. So because the graphic is the same, we decided to go with a hollow effect. Now it is still prototype, and also the letters on the top. So this monsters' names will be also in hollow effect. And you will be able quite easily to see on a table when you play against other player that he's got a upgraded version of the card. So this is kind of it meant to do two things. One, you make sure there's no mistakes when you play the game, and if you know the player shouldn't be using these stats because he hasn't got any upgraded cards and such. So yeah, and obviously to make sure once you play the game, you flick them over. So the hollow effect looks very, very good, and this is the surprise we wanted to show you. So we went a little bit more ahead with the quality of this, and it was kind of risky, no?
Yeah, it was kind of risky.
Yeah.
Paid out.
Yeah, initially manufacturer said no. As they said, no, don't go for it. It's crazy. We're not going to be able to make it. And we sell to them, look, if you're not going to be making it, we're going to go to somebody else. And they made it. No. So maybe let's open some...
Yeah, also nice. Open the deck of cards in a second.
Yeah. Maybe there's some price in there. Some cards from other game.
Yeah. There is quite a lot of cards.
Yeah, look at that.
Spells.
Combat cards, yeah.